I'm very sorry
about that.
I would like to tell you.
No, brother, wait a minute. Now you.
Why are you
got
butting in? What? Hold it a minute.
Please
Will you, Eddie? Hold it a second.
Eddie!
Hold it a second. I was talking to Merv. Just cool it. I let you talk.
Hold it a second. Okay, I'll hold it a
let you
second.
talk?
Okay.
Merv Griffin hosted thousands of guests across decades of talk show television, but some appearances went so badly that Merv privately labeled them disasters he never wanted to repeat. These are the 10 guests Merv Griffin hated most. Phil Spector, the hostile threat. Spector acts hostile from the start and even alludes to hitting Griffin, turning the room against him with hissing and booing.
Why do you repeat all my questions?
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking so many. I don't have any answers.
Discotheque's big in New York.
Discotheque's big in New York.
What's your favorite one here?
Favorite one here is...
Favorite one
I
here.
don't have a favorite one here.
Oh. Gotta enunciate, Phil. Move in on the microphone.
Definition
Speak right up.
You'll be sorry you started. Definition of gross ignorance, 144 Merv Griffins. How do you like that? Hey, you want to play games?
Not a very good game, Phil. What kind of fan
No,
mail
I
you
have
get?
to thank all the people that write. It's very nice, because I never got fan mail before.
What do they say to you?
Well, they asked me why I do your show instead of Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And they...
What do you tell them?
Why, you pay more money.
Merv later told his staff, Spector's paranoid, combative energy made me genuinely uncomfortable. I thought the segment might turn violent. Henny Youngman, the non-stop talker. Youngman would always go on talking, forcing Griffin to interrupt him repeatedly, just to keep the show moving.
Henny, you look good. I saw you on Jackie Gleason.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, you called my secretary and left a message. Watch me on Jackie Gleason.
Well, I wanted to see
I thought you were
Flipper
going to say
against
my
Flipper.
name. Oh,
Flipper against Flipper.
that's very funny.
Really.
What'd you think of the election?
I thought it was pretty good. I don't vote myself.
Why?
Guy walks in the election, pulls down 3 levers. What do you think he got?
What?
3 lemons.
Merv reportedly said, Youngman turned every segment into a timing fight. I spent more energy stopping him than interviewing him. Andy Warhol, the silent artist. Warhol simply wouldn't speak, forcing Griffin to fill all the dead air himself.
Good evening, Andy.
Andy, I must warn you, Andy won't say a word.
Why?
He's not used to making really public appearances, so I think he'll whisper answers to me if you ask him a question.
Can I listen while he whispers?
I'll whisper to you.
Aren't you going to say one word, Andy?
I can understand because he paints, right?
Yes.
He paints.
Some of your most famous paintings, of course, I guess the one that brought you to fame was the Campbell soup can. Was it not? Right. Then it was the Brillo box, wasn't it? Right. And are there originals of those, or would you do a lot of them and then people buy? Do you do your own copies?
Yes.
You do your own copies. Ah. Are you specializing?
One word.
I didn't recognize the voice. Andy, have you started something new now other than or are you devoting all of your time to the underground movies?
Yes.
Yes, what? Oh, you mean the underground movies?
Yes.
And you've given up painting?
Yes.
Well, that's going to disappoint a lot of pop art collectors. No, you're not op art.
No.
Pop art.
Yes.
Right.
Merv told producers, a guest who won't engage makes me carry the whole exchange. It's exhausting and feels like a complete waste. Brother Theodore, the chaos creator. Griffin booked Theodore specifically to annoy stars, and the confrontation with Jerry Lewis peaked with someone shouting to get him out.
Put that on your bagel.
I'm very
sorry about that.
I would like to tell you.
No, brother, wait a minute. Now you.
Why are you butting in? What? Hold it a
Will you
minute.
please
Will you,
quiet?
Eddie? Hold
Will
it a
you
second.
please-
Eddie!
Hold it a second. I was talking to Merv. Just cool it. I let you talk.
Hold it
Didn't
a
I?
second. Okay, I'll
Did I
hold it
let
a
you
second.
talk?
Okay.
The original Ringo. Didn't I give him a chance to talk?
Yes, I want to.
You know why I'm standing over here?
Why?
This man is catching.
2 people.
Brother, listen. This is your chance.
2 people walk.
You now have the floor, brother. You
I
want to
don't
give them
want
your
the
message?
floor.
Tell them about smelling
I cannot
daffodils.
compete with this.
Tell them where your real ear is. It's not here?
No, it's all right. Let's not go into these old jokes that I
It
made.
says you don't hear up here. Your hearing is in your left hind leg.
That is none of his business.
How do you think he's listening to you?
Yes. No, I just want to say one thing. 2 people, Merv, 2 people walked out on your show, right? One, David Merrick.
Yes. Yes.
Number 2,
Yes.
Theodore. David Merrick and I will soon be together in a show on Broadway. And I leave again. Not because of you. I love you. I love Treacher. I love you, love you, love you. But I didn't know that this guy is going to be here. And you know why he gave me his chair? Not out of the goodness of his heart, but because he was legitimately afraid of me. Good night. Rightly afraid. Rightly afraid.
Merv admitted Theodore was deliberately annoying, but when guests threatened to leave because of him, it hijacks my entire show. David Carradine, the shoeless walker. Carradine came out intoxicated without shoes, then got up and walked off mid-segment, derailing everything. Griffin reportedly told his staff, "An unstable walk-off is the worst guest behavior possible. It kills the show's momentum instantly." Jimmy Roselli, the couch demander. Roselli stormed off the set when he learned he wouldn't be allowed to sit on the couch with Griffin. That specific small request turned into a major production problem. When a guest makes seating or status the issue, it signals this segment may become about me, not the show. Griffin didn't appreciate guests who prioritized their ego over the format. The couch seating was reserved for certain guests based on segment structure. Roselli's demand showed he didn't understand or didn't care about Griffin's system. The walk-off disrupted taping, forcing producers to scramble for replacement content. Harlan Ellison, the atheist provocateur.
I find nothing more ridiculous and annoying than some guy who runs 100 yards, runs a kickoff back 105 yards from the end zone and drops to his knees and thanks God. Well, that's foolish. God didn't do it, he did it. Because if God did that for him, you mean God was against the other team? God is that mean-spirited that he has nothing better to do on Sunday afternoon than beat the crap out of a bunch of poor football players? I don't perceive of the universe being run by that kind of a God. I go with Mark Twain. I mean, one of the great quotes of my life is Mark Twain. When I discovered it's from Letters from the Earth, and I first read it, I said, "Oh, thank heavens, there was somebody who thought the way I think."
Ellison showed up carrying a paper signed by 100 scientists and theologians ready to attack astrology, turning the discussion sharp immediately. He made a deliberately provocative atheist remark that agitated the room, looking for ideological combat rather than conversation. Griffin disliked guests who came in wanting to turn the show into a courtroom or debate stage. Ellison's aggressive approach clashed with Merv's preferred conversational style. The segment felt more like an ambush than an interview. Griffin valued entertainment over confrontation, making Ellison's tactics unwelcome. The audience sensed the tension as Ellison refused to soften his approach. Merv tried redirecting, but Ellison kept pushing his agenda. Rip Taylor, the card-ripping meltdown. Rip Taylor thought he was bombing so badly that he started ripping up cards, throwing shoes, and then stormed off the set in the middle of his segment. Griffin invited him back the next day and asked him to do the crazy act again anyway. Even though Merv personally enjoyed it, a mid-segment meltdown like that is the kind of guest incident most hosts and producers hate because it's unpredictable and hard to control. Taylor's panic manifested as physical chaos with props flying everywhere. The audience didn't know if they were witnessing a bit or a genuine breakdown. Griffin's staff had to clean up torn cards and retrieve thrown shoes during commercial break. Taylor's exit left a gaping hole in the show's planned lineup. Producers scrambled to fill time while Taylor collected himself backstage. Griffin's decision to bring him back showed he saw entertainment value in the chaos. But the initial incident created stress for everyone involved in production. Taylor's meltdown demonstrated how a comedian's insecurity could derail carefully planned segments. Griffin learned that some performers needed more reassurance than others. The card ripping became Taylor's signature move, but its origin was pure desperation. Merv privately admitted that managing Taylor's anxiety was exhausting. The segment proved that sometimes disaster could be repackaged as intentional comedy. Griffin's ability to salvage the situation showed his skill as a host, but he never forgot how close the segment came to complete failure. Taylor's shoes landed in the audience, creating additional complication. The whole incident taught Griffin's team to prepare for complete unpredictability. Merv respected Taylor's talent, but dreaded the volatility that came with it. The next day's performance was controlled chaos, proving Taylor could harness the energy. But Griffin always wondered if Taylor might snap again under pressure. The meltdown became legendary, but remained a cautionary tale for bookers. The crew could feel the room tighten the second Taylor started grabbing anything he could reach. Nobody wanted to step in because they didn't know if stopping him would make it worse. Merv kept talking like everything was fine because that's what a host does when the floor is falling out. Taylor came back later embarrassed, but still chasing the laugh he thought he was losing. After that, the show treated prop comics like a risk you couldn't ignore. ignore. Rahsaan Rolan Kirk, the jazz protest interrupter. Loud noise and horns erupt as Griffin begins introducing a guest during the Jazz and People's Movement protest, and Merv responds by shaking his head and walking off the set. The disruption halts the show's normal flow in real time, making continuing the program impossible. Even though the target was network policy, the result is the same: an on-air situation a host would dislike because it sabotages the entire production. Griffin's walk-off was his only option when the protest made hosting impossible. The horns were loud enough to drown out any attempt at conversation. Kirk's involvement in the protest put Griffin in an uncomfortable position. Merv respected Kirk's musicianship, but hated the ambush tactic. The protest wasn't about Griffin personally, but he took the professional hit. Producers had no advance warning, making preparation impossible. The disruption embarrassed Griffin on his own show. Studio audience members looked confused as chaos erupted around them. Griffin's decision to walk off showed his frustration with losing control. The protest achieved its goal of stopping the show, but destroyed that episode. Merv later expressed sympathy for the cause, but anger about the method. He felt using his show as a protest platform was unfair to other guests. The incident damaged Griffin's relationship with jazz musicians temporarily. Network executives blamed Griffin for not maintaining control. Merv privately fumed that activists put him in an impossible situation. The walk-off became a statement that Griffin wouldn't host under those conditions. Production staff supported Merv's decision to abandon the segment. The protest highlighted tensions between entertainment and activism. Griffin understood the frustration, but wished it hadn't targeted his show specifically. The incident taught him to screen guests more carefully for potential disruptions. Merv never forgot feeling powerless on his own stage. The protest succeeded as activism, but failed as television. The control room couldn't even pivot because the noise swallowed every cue they tried to give. The audience started looking around like they were trapped inside someone else's argument. Merv hated that. The moment made him the face of a fight he didn't start. Afterward, the staff talked about how fast a peaceful show could turn into a shutdown. It left Merv more guarded because he didn't want to be blindsided again. Arthur Treacher, the personal insulter. Arthur Treacher outright calls Griffin a wretched little man, delivering a direct personal insult rather than a playful jab. Merv reportedly told close friends, Treacher crossed a line that day. Guests who go personal on the host poison the tone of the entire segment and guarantee they'll never return. Treacher's insult wasn't banter. It was genuine contempt delivered on camera. Griffin maintained composure in the moment, but seethed internally. The audience gasped at Treacher's bluntness, unsure how to react. Merv's smile stayed fixed, but his eyes showed the sting. Treacher showed no awareness that he'd crossed a professional boundary. The insult felt personal enough that Griffin took it home with him. Other guests on the panel looked uncomfortable witnessing the exchange. Griffin tried deflecting with humor, but Treacher doubled down. The segment limped to commercial break with tension thick in the studio. Backstage, Griffin let his anger show, telling producers Treacher was done. Staff members rallied around Merv, validating his hurt feelings. Treacher apparently thought the insult was acceptable sharp wit. Griffin knew the difference between roasting and genuine disrespect. The wretched little man comment became infamous among talk show insiders. Merv's blacklisting of Treacher sent a message about acceptable behavior. Other hosts heard the story and became wary of booking Treacher. Griffin maintained his ban until the end of his show's run. Treacher never apologized, apparently believing he'd done nothing wrong. The incident taught Griffin to trust his instincts about difficult personalities. Merv realized some guests viewed him as a target rather than a host. The insult hurt more because it was public humiliation on Griffin's own show. Griffin's professional revenge was simple and permanent. Treacher never got another invitation. The story became a cautionary tale about respecting the host. Merv used it to train new staff on handling difficult guests. The wretched little man quote lived on as the worst guest insult in Griffin's career. Griffin proved that crossing certain lines meant permanent exile from his show. Merv didn't just feel insulted, he felt set up in front of his own audience. The writers and producers understood that if the host looks weak, the whole show looks weak. Treacher's tone made it clear he wasn't playing, and that made the room go cold. Merv kept his voice steady because he refused to give Treacher the reaction he wanted. After that, Merv drew a harder boundary, and his booking choices reflected it. These guests proved the fact TV had rules, and not following them had certain consequences.
What are you
No, brother, wait a minute. Now you
What are you
got
butting in? What? Hold it a
Will
minute.
you please be
Will you,
quiet?
Eddie? Hold
Will
it a
you
second.
please-
Eddie! Hold it a second. I was talking to Merv. Just cool it. I let you talk.
hold it
Didn't
a
I?
second. Okay,
Did I let you talk?
Okay.
Which of these terrible guest Merv Griffin moments do you think was the worst? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.